you are like basically in a way an unknown writer, but you make $50,000 a month. So why you're whiny at all?
Let's talk about Disney for a second. You referenced Marvel and Disney. Can you talk about like kind of the current state of the industry, specifically Disney and Marvel? Your thoughts on their struggles over the past few years?
Yeah, I think they overdid it. You know, if you try to create like 5 new franchises every year with like total unknown comic book figures who I never heard about before the film comes out, uh, it just doesn't work. And you cannot ride a wave forever. It's like, also, how many Batmans we need, for example? How many people played Batman already? How many different actors? And uh, there were like highlights like the Dark Knight film, you know, the Joker was great, you know, but now I mean, I will watch the Joker too, but I hope they stayed true to what they did with the first one, because that was not a comic book movie. That was like a very big tragedy masterpiece. So, you know, so that I would like exclude from most of the comic book films. But you know, if now Ben Affleck comes, whatever, I cannot watch it anymore. It's too much. Spider-Man, I'm still kind of a fan because they move more into a comedy direction, so it's more entertaining. Um, but I'm very skeptical how this turns out. And now Disney has panicked because they spend so much money on that films that if a film doesn't make like worldwide 800-900 million dollar box office, they will lose money on that film. So and it's also a mistake. I think they produce too expensive. They pay too high salaries to everybody, and it's crazy. You know, it's the same. Like the strikes were 7 months going, and now the strikes are over. On paper, everybody gets more, but what will really happen is they produce less. You know, like all that 120,000 actors who live from here and there. You have a shooting day. They're getting now $200 more a day. Great, but overall there will be 100,000 shooting days less in America next year because 50% of the production will not happen. It's too expensive now for the studios and streamers to continue to do so many productions. And so who will suffer? The small people, the crews, the smaller actors, the script writers who maybe sell one script every few years, you know. And I felt the whole time I had this double feeling in regards of the strike, because there were people whiny, like the writers' rooms, for example. You know, then you read like, if you are on a top TV series in the writers' room, you make 12 grand a week. So it means like, you know, you are like basically in a way an unknown writer, but you make $50,000 a month. So why you're whiny at all? Why you run around on the street and you yell like you are a homeless person and working in an Amazon plant in Detroit, right? So, and I felt like they are very, let's say, whiny on a higher level, and they have no clue how hard it is to sell any script. And a lot of people really struggle. A lot of actors are basically waiters, and they try to be actors. So, but I think all of them, they shoot themselves in the foot with that new rules, you know. And also, as an independent filmmaker, I always said to actors and whatever I produced with, look, I'm a member of the Directors Guild, for example, you know, but I can make films without the guild. As a producer director, I can say, look, I'm not doing a union film now because I don't have the money. I'm shooting it smaller, and I feel that that should be allowed. It should be allowed for any actor also to make to play for $200, and not saying, if I don't get the SAG minimum, I cannot play in the film. I think that is counterproductive. It's like they basically, the whole system is doing everything to destroy independent filmmaking. You know, that the actor says, sorry, if it's not SAG, I cannot play in the film, you know, and whatever, the Ayatsi, and so on. And at the same time, Disney and co, they're spending way too much money for talent, and they're spending way too much money for their franchises. Indiana Jones, you know, like when you see like Harrison Ford clearly like CGI'd, and
Right.
there are times when it's over. I mean, Indiana Jones is over, you know, and I like, for example, more the attempts they did with TV series. I like The Mandalorian, for example. I think it's better as Star Wars to watch because it doesn't have that ballast, you know. It's just a new show, and I really liked it. And but I've a lot of these franchises, it's just this endless driving it, and milking the audience, and the audience feels it.
Right.
You know, I think they're feeling it, and that is the reason these movies are not performing so good anymore.
But what do you think about this? Leave us a comment down below. We read every single one of them. Also, make sure you hit the subscribe button because you have found your home for common sense in the gaming and entertainment worlds.